Welcome back, learners, and let's continue with our lesson. So now we are going to look at the first point in our concept map, and that is the volume of cubes. So the volume of cubes, or the volume of a cube, is the area of the base multiplied by the height of that 3D shape. And in this case, we are talking about a cube. So when we are calculating the volume, that will be the area of what the base is multiplied by the height. And because this is a cube, that means that the base is a square, and all the faces of this cube are actually squares, which means that the length, the breadth, and the height are going to be exactly the same amount, since as well all the faces of this cube are the same length, or are the same, are squares, sorry. So looking at the formula, now remember, the area of a square is the length squared. Now, when we multiply that with the height, which is also the length, because all the dimensions are the same value, then that will give us the length cubed. So that means that the volume of a cube is one of its length cubed. Let's look at some examples. So we are given a cube here that has a length of 5 centimeters. And of course, the breadth is also 5 centimeters and the height is also 5 centimeters. So it says they calculate the volume of the cube. So we are going to now say there the volume of this cube is going to be the length cubed. And since as well we can see that the length there is 5 centimeters, we're going to take the centimeters and we are going to cube. We're going to take this 5 centimeters, we're going to cube it, and that is going to give us 125 centimeters cubed. And that is the volume of this cube. Let's look at another cube, which now has been given, we've been given there a length of 2 meters. Now, we are supposed to calculate the volume of this cube. So again, the volume of the cube is going to be the length cubed. In this case, the length here is 2 meters. So 2 meters cubed will give us an answer of 8 meters cubed. And of course, that is now the volume of that cube. Let's move on to the next concept on our concept map, and that is calculating the volume of rectangular prisms. So let's see how we can calculate the volume of those rectangular prisms. So we are given here this rectangular prism, and as we know, a rectangular prism has of course the length, and then we have the breadth, and of course we will have the height. Now looking at the formula for calculating the volume of a rectangular prism, it is there the area of the base of the rectangular prism, and we are going to multiply that by the height. And of course, because it's a rectangular prism, the base is the shape of a rectangle. And then we are going to multiply that with the height. So that means that our formula is going to be the length multiplied by the breadth, which is the area of a rectangle, and then we are going to add that with a multiplied by the height. So the formula of the volume of a rectangular prism, length times breadth times height. Let's look at an example to see how we can calculate this. So it says they calculate the volume of the rectangular prism. So here we have been given a rectangular prism that has a length of 4 for the base, it has a breadth of 2 for the base, and it has a height of 7 for the height. So the formula for the volume of this rectangular prism, remember, is the length multiplied by the breadth multiplied by the height. So this means that we are going to say 4 centimeters. We're going to multiply this by 2 centimeters, and we are going to multiply this by 7 centimeters. So what is 4 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 2? So 4 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 7 is going to give us 56 centimeters cubed. And remember, we are using here cubed because we are working with volume. Let's move over to the next example there. And in this case, we have been given there a briefcase or a box. So the instruction there says, calculate the volume of the sand inside the box if the box is filled with the sand. So remember, the box has a certain capacity, and the sand will now be the volume of that, will be the volume that is inside that box. But since as well we are told that the box is filled with sand, that means that this box is filled to full capacity. So let's calculate the volume of the sand. And remember, the volume is the contents inside that object. So we are going to calculate the volume of the sand. Since as well this box is in the shape of a rectangular prism, that means that we are going to use the formula for a rectangular prism to calculate this volume. So this is going to be the length multiplied by the breadth multiplied by the height. So the volume for this rectangular box is going to be, we can see there that the length is 30. So that is going to be 30 centimeters. We're going to multiply that by the breadth, and the breadth there is our 15 centimeters. And of course, we are going to multiply this by the height, and that height is the 10 centimeters. So the volume of the sand that is inside that box is going to be 30 centimeters multiplied by 15 centimeters multiplied by 10 centimeters. And that is going to give us a total of 4,500 centimeters cubed. So what does this mean? It means that the amount of sand that is inside that box is 4,500 centimeters cubed. And because this box is filled up, then that means this box is filled to full capacity of this box. Let's quickly go to an ad break, and then we'll see you just now for the rest of our lesson.